My dad was a single parent. My mom left when I was 2. After high school, got into drinking and drug use. I got into using opiates, then like cocaine. I was pregnant with my second child, and the father of my child did not want the baby. And he forced me to go to the abortion clinic. I didn't want to. He paid the $500 and got all these pills, and I had to take them. And I threw them up. I was on the side of the interstate, and he beat me in the head, the back of the head. I fell out the car. He ran straight over me. And then a car comes and helps me. And the abortion pills didn't work. They didn't work at all. I still had my baby, but I was so scared that something would happen to him. Like he wouldn't be right.
My parents were drug addicts my whole life. My grandmother raised us, so I got on drugs and I started doing it, and eventually it became too much to control. But then by the time I realized I didn't care.
Everybody has something that happened in childhood that, either shattered their world or, they have fond memories of. But back when my mom and dad were married, they argued all the time, through stuff. My dad was just bad on drugs, and they wound up getting divorced when I was in 2nd grade. And my dad was in my life off and on. I dealt with some severe abandonment issues. I don't remember how it happened, but at a party, somebody offered me the ADHD medication. I very quickly developed the habit of buying them from people. It got to a point where I was spending my rent money on pills.
I am a product of a single parent household. My kids are also as well. My dad raised me from the age of 4 up until I became an adult. I got to see some of his struggles as a single parent, and it was kind of a unique situation because I'm a female, he's a male, so I honestly felt like he didn't understand me throughout that period.
A lot of my ladies that come from Mexico come with a lot of trauma. A lot of them suffer abuse and trauma through sexual molestation. A lot of our clients also flee an abusive relationship from their spouse. And so when they come here to America and they discover Open Door, we're able to offer them educational programs to help them with their trauma, to be able to become a better parent so they can break that generational curse with their child and not allow their child to experience the trauma that they did.
The National Institute on Drug Abuse says that 80% of women seeking treatment have a history of trauma. You've got to look at this and we're going to assume people have had trauma now. We're going to be informed about what trauma looks like. We're going to be able to identify, we're going to look at those things and say, okay, how can we help these people? A lot of the folks that we deal with as they walk in the door, somehow or another, they're dealing with some kind of post-traumatic stress. And so what we at Open Door are trying to say is, how can we help that person be a whole person? How can we use wraparound services? How can we help that family and be that John 10:10 ministry?
I've done primary focus working as a guardian ad litem, which is an attorney that's appointed by the court to represent children when there have been allegations made about abuse and neglect. I've had the experience of working in multiple counties and multiple court systems, and Open Door is a unique and wonderful asset to this community. We have very serious issues we deal with parents dealing with addiction, homelessness, mental health issues, or sometimes just a general lack of parenting knowledge or experience. I have seen cases where I thought parents didn't have a very good chance of getting their child back due to their issues or their lack of knowledge, and Open Doors turned that parent around due to what I consider the gold standard in our county, at least, for what parenting education is supposed to be.
My parents, they didn't take care of us. When I was like 5, I was molested by my uncle, and then I was almost molested by my dad's best friend. because they did not watch us very carefully. So I don't want to be that kind of parent. I want to be involved. I'll always be there. I'll always protect them. And I'll always do what I think is best. I'm not gonna let anything happen to them. I didn't want them to think the things that I thought growing up, why don't they love me enough to care? Why don't they love me enough to wash my clothes? Why don't they love me enough to feed me? Why don't they love me enough to give me a bath? Just why don't they love me enough? So my children, I don't want them to ever feel that way. I'm in a childhood trauma therapy, so it focuses purely on my childhood and kind of where it started, and so that is progressing really, really good.
The judge had told me that I wasn't going to be able to get my kids. And just everything that I had done and worked hard for was ruined over the one decision that I made to go and get that prescription filled. And that one sentence was the most clarity. It's like when everything clicked for me. Ever since, I've stopped. I'm disgusted with it.
My mom was the core of all of it. She left me at a young age. I was only 2. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be my mom. I want to be something better. And I know in my drug use or in my using days that I was her completely. I left my kids all the time to go use or used with them, as in like being pregnant with them. So my trauma therapist helps me dig deep, and that's what I've needed to stay healthy and a clear mind.
This place has wonderful intentions. They only want the best for their clients, and they just want to see people grow and go forward in life and be good people. I feel like with the intention that this place sets, it could possibly change or unlock the mindset that for a person who has the potential to change the world.
The one thing that I took from Open Door that taught me the absolute most and is probably the best tool that I have is how to pray over my kids and just pray over them, because it's the only thing that I can do that will actually help them in this world.
I think it was after I'd gotten out of jail and we started going through court, they told us that they wanted us to do the parenting class. After being in jail, I sobered up and just not wanting my kids to go through what I went through with my mom. I try to work 50, 60 hours a week. If I ain't working, I'm with Sierra and the kids. We go to the parks quite a bit. Both the girls are in soccer, so we do that through the year. They like going to the park, getting rocks and painting them, so we'll take them out there and do all that. Just hang out around the house with the dogs, make fires in the backyard, just simple stuff.
Can you imagine what these kids are gonna do?
After I get home from school, my mommy's cooking and my daddy helps me with homework. I made a puzzle with my mommy and my brother last night. I love my mom. My mama cooked for me.
Every single weekend since we were allowed to see her at her house, we like to paint rocks, paint canvases, watch movies, eat candy while watching movies. Living with my mom is like living with an angel. She's my favorite person ever. I'm just grateful for her.
I feel like I love her.
We're looking at a person. We're looking at a Maggie. We're looking at a Dominique. We're looking at a Cheyenne. And we're looking at a Sierra and a Derek. And we're saying, you have a name, you're not a number. And we want to identify you personally. And we want to identify what your children need and what you need as a family. The folks that have come through our program that have been so successful have not been here for 2 weeks and checked boxes. They didn't do a 4-hour class. Not to say those are bad for some people, but we are more intensive. We're almost an intensive care for parents.
One day I was talking to Miss Shawn about being normal. And that's all I've ever wanted to be, is just be normal. like all the other families and the Christmas cards. So I had an idea, something I wanted to do when I was little, get matching PJs. I was like, oh, this will be great for our Christmas card. So I designed the Christmas card myself and went and printed them out and, you know, gave them out to the people I love and care about. It's just amazing that I can do things like that now. Because of the help and all the support I got and all the people that care about me and my family, I can actually do that now. And now my kids have a healthy mom, have a mom that's actually there. Before, I was there, but I wasn't at the same time. But now I'm always there, and they love that.
Can you imagine what these kids are gonna do? There's a ripple effect. Watching life change, culture and families change, generations change, watching lives be redeemed. I think that's my why, is seeing that we can help a family become a family again.